this is Jazz bringing you a series I haven't brought you in like 5 years, and this is not because I lost interest, because I didn't need to for about 5 years, and this is an updated version of my video game collection. Now, I'm going to be doing it in segments like I did last time, and also just for another series I'm going to bring up, but from after, you'll get them up till like 2024 because they have been pre-recorded. But I'm no longer recording gamer pickups because I'm showing off my video games in other videos in a way, so it kind of is left redundant in a way. And also, after I'm done recording this series, you will still see my other video games, like when I get new ones after that, in those videos that I show. So, I'm trying to think if there is anything else to add, but I'm pretty sure that is it. Now, the first segment I'm showing is my Nintendo Switch games, both physical and digital. I'm going to try to look for photos of certain games online where I can add them because my screenshot area is completely full right now, but I will show you like having the game system on in a way what the games are, and I'll include more represented pictures in there to show you guys. But I am going for my physical games first, just to get them out of the way. Yeah, that sounds great, just to get them out of the way. That's Pokemon Sword. I was really addicted to this game and another game. You know what, I'll show that off too. Pokemon Shield as well. But I'll show that. Yeah, getting rid of the receipt. But I've been addicted to these games, specifically Sword, for a while when I was playing it. Especially loved the wild area. I think, like, they say this was the new Pokemon Black, which, guys, come on. When I say that, people used to hate Black, you know what I mean, and White. But come on, guys, I hate to say this, but Black and White are better in some ways than these series. Like, it's not terrible. Like, it's not, these games aren't as bad as people were making them out to be, to me, in my opinion. But they still, yeah, the graphics aren't good. The story, well, better than some, in a way, but it's just not really great. We'll just say there was a few memorable characters in it, but if I ever do a review on it, maybe I'll talk more in depth, which again, I'm not promising you guys a review. I'm doing my best to get the videos out that I'm getting. Like, for me, it is best to work when I'm in the zone and go right to it. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not the type of person that really plans things so much. Which, again, spontaneous can be good and bad. But this can be good too. So, anyway, South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Now, I haven't played this for a year or so. It was just because I was into a big Pokemon kick and other things, but I love this game though. It's a game that for a while I couldn't get enough of, and I am glad that I got it, especially for the Switch. People say the PC version is better, and maybe in some ways it is, but I just find this was the first way I played this game. Unlike the Stick of Truth where I did play it on the PC, and I see why it can be considered better, but this is the only way I know this game, because I had a problem with my PC version for a long time, and by the time it started working, I already played it, in my opinion, in a better way. So this is my go-to version for this game. You can have your opinions. I don't care. It's your opinions. But hey, as long as I'm enjoying it that way, that should be what matters. Now guys, here is another semi-controversial Pokemon game. It was for at least a little bit. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Now, for a while they teased that this was the new Pokemon Sword and Shield in a way. Like, I don't know. I sort of agree and sort of don't. Like, they had a lot of problems at the beginning. Definitely wasn't a Pokemon Pearl and Diamond where it went too slow and everything, but it just... I know this isn't always the biggest deal, but the GTW station was closed for almost several months after it was released, which was also a big feature people were looking forward to, which frustrated everyone. Like, it's hard to explain. There were some glaring problems with this version, like these games, but has it improved on some things like then Sword and Shield? I don't know. I mean, people often made fun of the chibi appearances of the characters, and that did sort of grow on me, though. They kind of reminded me of, Little People, in a way. You know, that toys that you would play with as a young child. That's what it kind of reminded me of, which was kind of cute, in a way. I don't dislike this game. I recently replayed it a few months ago and beat Cynthia and got really into it, so it did grow on me. I'll say it's not an underrated game. Like, I can see why they have their problems. Same way I can see why they have their problems with Sword and Shield. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I do not have the actual case for this game because I received it as a present from my aunt's niece, which is also my cousin. Like, you know, you choose your family, not necessarily blood. But I got that from her and her husband, and because she said she didn't play it, she knew how much I wanted it, so, and I'm playing it through it. I'm just, I said, I'm on the other games now, but I appreciate having this game, because you know what, just like I did with the Sword and Shield, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, or Pikachu, yeah, well, how can it be a Jazz Umbre video without mistakes? But this actually has the actual case because I bought this when it was released. I got this one just this year. But I can now trade and fully experience the game. Because I couldn't trade before, because this is an iffy game to trade with. You know, it's harder than in Sword and Shield, and actually, to be fair, it's far better trading within yourself anyway, because it's easier to choose the Pokemon you get and not, unless you have a partner on the other end talking with you while you do it, there is no way to randomly get a person to be able to help you, right? Because they'll say, oh, well, this is not enough, cancel the trades. It's just... But anyway, guess what? Pathetically, that's all my physical games. Because I don't know why, but I was just into the... What is it? What's the best word for it? The digital kit for a while, thinking, oh, that's so much better. But I still do sometimes. But I'll show you one at a time, even though they're all on the screen. The one that's highlighted is Cozy Grove. Now, what do I think of this game? It is similar to Animal Crossing in a way, right? I just find it less charming. Now, sometimes when you get games, you shouldn't always do this because it costs money, but you have to go for a dive, in a way. You just kind of have to just give it a chance, but watch like reviews and figure out what it is. Now, the Cozy Grove, again, for a little while it's fun, in a way, but then it kind of gets, what is it, old? Like, I don't know why, because Animal Crossing is really same too. Like, you have a routine and you do the same things a lot of the time, but just to me it feels more charming, in a way. You feel more, you can do a lot more, in a way, and feel more accomplished with Animal Crossing than with this game. But I am willing to play it a little bit more and give it a, like, I do find it charming, in a way. It's interesting that you have to learn about a ghost's past, and you learn more about them, their stories open up more, which again, I should probably give more of a chance, and I will. But right now, I think it's a less, like, for me, it's a lesser Animal Crossing, right now, to me. Now, guys, I respect if you love this game even more than Animal Crossing. Again, these videos are my opinion only, and that's fine. So the next game I also got recently, which is Cat Cafe Manager. Hopefully by the time you see this, you'll see, or you see these, you'll see what I got for September, because these two games were in that list, so I'm just waiting on a package to get in it. I'm sorry I'm not good at showing it. I'll try to get a picture up above. Now this game, I admit, I haven't played enough. I've played more of Cozy Grove than I did this, and I played a good few hours of Cat Cafe Manager. What do I think of it? I think right now, if I play this game more, it would have more potential for me than Cozy Grove, because the idea is completely different, that you use cats and you run a cafe and you take the orders, and the better your cafe is, the more people you can hire, you can afford more ingredients to satisfy. So it's kind of one of those little games that take, but the best thing is though, you don't have to reset the system. Each day you can restart and go to a new day. So it has endless potential, unlike Cozy Grove, in a way. It's just, although one thing is, this game is also very repetitive, in a way. Like, and it also is fast-paced, if you're not paying attention. So, but I was learning, and I'll relearn how to play it, right? It is a fun game, in a way. I mean, it's not a game I would want to necessarily play when I'm in a out of it state, you know, not feeling good, very tired, because you do need to focus on it a little bit. But it's more relaxing than some of those hardcore games. We'll just say you have to pay attention to fully immerse in this game. But I'm glad I did get it, because it's a different game for me to try. And I got both of these games all together for about $30. So, for those two games. So, it's just, and I'll probably talk more about it in what I got for September. Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. Guys, I'm afraid I don't know where to start with this game, because I will probably get into a big, not a rant. Maybe I'd have a little bit of a rant, I don't know, but a big, like, I did a review on the series, or so you'll hear it all there. But I love this game. Like, I don't want to go too much into it, because then that would be the rest of the video. But this is one of the games that I naturally often get a kick to play, often immerse myself in, which again can be a flaw too. It can be too addictive. But it's a game that isn't overly complicated, like some of the other farm games, in a way. Like, I absolutely love this game. I'd say, you know what, I'd say it's one of my favorite Switch games. One of them. Which, again, I have to make a list on that. I never did one, but the thing is, the Switch is still releasing games, so it's kind of hard to do a list. And maybe I could make a list and then do an updated one if things do change. But what if it changed in like a few months from me doing a list? It's hard. At least some of the other lists, the games have been fully released in a way, and I could try them. But anyway, again, I still would say this would be on my favorites list in a way. If it was, I don't know if it would be number one, but alright guys, we go from a game that is absolutely my favorite game, and guys, don't get me wrong, Stardew Valley, but anyway, I do appreciate Stardew Valley, and while it's not a bad game, it's just, with my, I can't say inability, because I can to a degree, with my patience, their lack of patience, it's hard for me to grip. Now, we'll say, if we were talking about, and I do have it, and I'll show you in my PC section, or my computer laptop section, I love it on the PC, but that's because I can do mods. Guys, I cannot handle Stardew Valley without mods. It's way too difficult for me, and I'm fine with taking my time and doing the crops, but the two things that I cannot like, that are hard for me without the mods. Fishing, which a lot of people complained about that minigame, and the mining. Like, I need the mods to not die in the mine, and I need the not, like, skipping past the minigame, you know, the minigame. Again, I'm not going to get onto it too much of a rant, but it's just, this would not be, I do not like the version of it on this consoles that I can't use mods on. So, I did not think through with that when I got that game. It wasn't a problem at the time. I never thought about it right when I got it on the Switch. But, I mean, someday, there's times I wanted to try it and just naturally do it all on my own. But it would always kind of, this would not work for me. So, guys, I will just say it was a bit of a mistake to get on the Switch. It's Pokemon Home, but you know about that. Alright. Children of Light. Yeah. Not the hugest fan of it. It's supposed to be a simple game in a way, like, but it's just, to me, not worth it. I think it was a free game, though, so I said I wouldn't get into it. I'm not that type of person. I get lost in it, I find, even though I shouldn't get lost in it. It's just one of those things. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, the complete edition, which also includes Hacker's Memory. Now, guys, what do I think of this game? I'm just on the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I'm on chapter 16 of it, and I like it, but it's one of those games that I get out of quite a bit. You know, when I say, like, I get out of, you know, I get in and out of things. I don't know why that is. Like, I've loved Digimon Story, you know, or, you know, the Digimon World games, and it's not saying these are bad games, these are amazing, but they just feel long to me. Like, I'm not used to to keep it a whole bunch of time focused on that. But, again, it's a game that I don't hate. I see why people love it. It's me, not the game. I just gotta continue playing it, because when I play it, I love it. When I'm in the mood and I pick it up and play it, I love it. So it's one of those, love it, not necessarily hate it, but love it or, you know, nothing. Right? So, but I am glad that I got it. I got it, I think, on sale. I don't know if I did, actually. But I got both games. I've never tried Hacker's Memory long enough yet. I will. I got the Super Nintendo, you know, app, which has, finally, as they said, has Earthbound now, which I'm still trying to play, but I'm not going through this, because technically, I don't consider that part of the collection. We'll say I have all the games that are on there, necessarily, but I won't go over them. Now, I gotta go to the Magic Software department to go to the next one. Chinese Parents. Now, this is actually a game that I think does better on the Switch than it does on the PC. Like, in a way, there's some things on the PC that I like better, but it's not a game. It's a game that kind of works both, you know, on both. And how do I put it? I do love this game. There was a time I was in a big kick of it, and I don't regret my time with it. Let me say the least. It can be a bit challenging to figure out at first, for sure. But, you know, a lot of games are in it to a degree. Like, you can go as long as you want. It's almost a limitless game, pretty much. Usually the first few generations, and then you should be done, because it's the same thing. That's the one thing, it's repetitive, and nothing really carries over, in a way. Nothing that I noticed, so. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, guys, how do I feel about this game? It is pretty challenging, but it is fun and satisfying when you actually complete these hurdles. It's a different Pokemon game than the other series games. I mean, of course, there are plenty of spin-offs, and this is, I think, considered a spin-off in a way. I'm not 100% sure what the Pokemon community considers Pokemon Legends Arceus, but it is one of the more different games in the series. Like, you could argue Pokemon Colosseum and XD were, and yes, they were a big diversion, like no gym badges, just like this one, no gym badges. They all had their own unique mechanics, in a way. But, I mean, in Pokemon Colosseum and XD, you battle quite a few trainers, where in Legends Arceus, you battle like maybe 10 at the most. So it wasn't a big old battle trainers like the game, it was catching them all. That was the concept of this game, was catching them all, which no, I did not. But I beat the main story, which was my main objective of this, and I enjoyed it. Like, I'm glad I got it. No regrets there. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I think the game, it's the game of it. Well, guys, I got it, but it was a sale, I think. I haven't played it very much, because it's a fighting game. It's out of my comfort zone, and I'm still going to give it a try. I'm glad I have the option to, because there was a time where it wasn't there. It was there and gone, right? So I'm glad that I at least have it, for I'm able to play it whenever I want to. So I have the option to play it. It's a game that I am interested in maybe trying more of a little bit. Now, on to another game I sort of do regret buying. My time at Porsche. Why do I regret buying it? And maybe it's me again. I may be stupid and not know how to play it properly. But it's so frustrating for me to play. Maybe I heard it's on other systems, including the PC, and maybe the PC version is more manageable. I don't know. But it's just a mess, guys. Like, I almost never know where I'm going. More so than Child of Light. I know there are people who love this game, and all for them, right? Saying it's one of the best games, again, that's going a little far, but still, all for them. For me, I just can't get into it at this point. There's you know what? I'd get into Stardew Valley more. Because at least I know where I'm going in Stardew Valley. Like, it's my fault with Stardew Valley. Like, it is definitely my fault with Stardew Valley. Like, that I have trouble with some of the mechanics. My time at Porsche, I can put some fault on myself into it, but it's a good 50-50 with their mechanics and my inability. So at least with Stardew Valley, it can be manageable for the most part. Again, I do regret getting this game. Final Fantasy, is it 10? I think it's 10 or 5, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. But this was a game that I did want to try. But, as I said, it's one of the more difficult games, so I'm still trying to get into it. I mean, it's okay. As I said, I'm not saying that the game isn't great when you compare it to people who love the game, know the series well. I don't regret it as much as I did my time at Porsche, but I maybe should have thought a little bit more before getting this game, because with my skill level at these type of games, I've barely figured it out. I'm barely past the first part. I think I've beaten the first boss in the game, and I put it down. And if someday I'll get back into it, I'm going to correct myself in this video what version or what number this game is, but I do remember parts of it. Now to a game that I could talk about for hours, but I'm going to try not to. Animal Crossing New Horizons. To start with, guys, this game came out in a time we all needed it, which we're not mentioning you know what, again. You've heard me say it plenty of times, but it came at the right time to get into it in 2020. I've recently gotten back into it. A little too much But actually, no, we could blame that on New Leaf. But I've been getting into this okay. Like, it's interesting running your own island. But, okay, how do I put it? In some ways, this is better than New Leaf. But in some ways, New Leaf trumps this game. Because, I mean, yes, sure, you can be the island representative. But how about being the mayor? I'm sorry, that just feels a little more powerful in a way, guys. But again, I don't regret this purchase. It helped in a very hard time. And again, I still am playing it occasionally. So it's a game that I don't 100% get tired of. The Animal Crossing series, I am getting into quite a bit. I haven't played the first one for my copy that I had gotten at Value Village. They're not always reliable, as much as I love it. Did not work. And to get a copy that might work is quite pricey. So right now I'm holding that off in favor of maybe trying Wild World, maybe at some point. But I see why people love this series, and particularly the game in a way. Speaking of what I brought up before, South Park, The Stick of Truth. Now guys, which version do I like better, the PC or the Switch? A little iffy here, because I had played both versions, but I did play the PC one a little more, so I would have to say this would be, okay, would say Fractured Butthole would be my Switch version of the South Park game, where the Stick of Truth would be my PC favorite of that genre, in a way. It's just, maybe because I got to play the PC version more in the achievements you get, but it's just, for me, more satisfying on the PC. And you could argue the Fractured Butthole might be the same way, but I've already played it on the Switch version and loved my experience with it, so I associate it better with the Nintendo Switch. So what it is, it's the same thing in a way, only no achievements. I'm glad I have it to go on the go, though, because I still do love this game. It's good to have to go on the go, so it is what it is. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I believe. Now, it's a game that I got on the Japanese store, in a way, because I got it on sale there. It's an interesting game, a little complicated to go over, right, but again, it is what it is. It's kind of one of the strategy games. You have certain objectives you have to do, but it is interesting. Nexamon. Well, guys, I had talked about it some in length during one of my birthday videos, in a way. It was so long since I've played it, but I remember loving it. I'm glad I got it, and perhaps I should get Nexamon too. I don't know, but it's fun. It's a game that, yes, it's a clone of Pokemon, but I'm glad that I got it and played it because it has more humor and personality than a lot of Pokemon games. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's a series within itself that is fun. I mean, you could argue Digimon is a Pokemon clone, in a way, or maybe definitely it was out after Pokemon, but that's still popular among itself. I mean, how many games does Digimon have? Honestly, I think Nexamon needs more love, personally. Yoshi's Crafted World. It was a game I got, but probably should play more of. It's supposed to be a more relaxing game in that franchise, so again, I should get back into it. I haven't played it enough. I should play it more. That is kind of the best thing that can be said here. Blades. I haven't played it. Don't know why I got it. Maybe it was a sale, a very cheap sale, and I thought, oh, it looked cool. Again, never picked it up. Again, I should really think of before my purchases. Powers Matchmaker. Now, the other one was just a demo, so I'm not going over that. But Kitty Powers Matchmaker. It's a game that I don't quite regret getting, but it is difficult to figure out all the cues. Like, I'm not good with social cues to begin with. So, trying to find love and match people is... It has its charm. Like, the personalities, especially of Kitty, is hilarious, but yeah, wouldn't necessarily say it's completely fun when you don't know what you're doing, so I don't quite regret getting it. It's one of those mid-ground, games for me. The Longest 5 Minutes. Now, this game, there was a time when I played it where I said I loved it, one of my favorite games. I'd say it's on the lower end now. There's some glaring flaws to it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I do like the game. And I might replay it and have a better opinion on it later. It has interesting mechanics that the farther along you go, the lower your stats get. Like, each one, you have different stats, each memory, because it's like a memory in a way. Like, it's kind of confusing in a way, but it's like the experience you grind will be completely different, completely gone. It's just not best to not really overly grind because it will not even matter, which again is interesting. They give you a side quest to complete, which is cool. But it's one of those games you play once, maybe twice, and then you're like, yeah, you're done. There's no real replay value unless you want to get all the little achievements, like if it's in Steam and all that. So it's just, again, I'm glad I have it in a way to play, but it's something that... Bury Me, My Love. Interesting game. I played a little bit of it. It's just, to me, it's a little confusing, so... But it's something maybe worth it. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I think it is the Attorney Trilogy. I never played them yet, but it has one of the games that I did on Let's Play on my channel of the first one, plus the 2 other ones that come after it. I've had some trouble with this series, like remembering things and knowing how to like eject and do and pay attention, so it's a game I need to really focus on more, or I'll kind of get my clients in trouble. So I might get into this. My Baby, or is it My Universe, My Baby, but they call it My Baby there. Maybe they changed it. Is it a game I regret getting? Not necessarily. I had a good time with it, in a way. It's a remake of a few other games, in a way. Like, a lot of people don't like this game because they find it stupid, and I can see why, in a way, but I've always been childish, in a way, so this is kind of up my alley. It's not too difficult, unlike some of those games, despite it being for children. So, it's kind of my jam. It's at the point where I don't even really have to panic when I do things. Like, it's one of those games that I could lay back if I'm in one of those moods. Unlike that other game, the Cafe Manager, that I actually can't go and do the least that I can do and play it. Speaking of relaxing, Color's End. I haven't played enough of it, but I guess it's supposed to be a relaxing game, which I probably should try at some point. Pokemon Cafe. Yeah. Cafe Mix. I think I would prefer Cat Cafe Manager as much as I love Pokemon. I think at least Cat Cafe Manager doesn't rely on purchases. Nintendo. I mean, you buy the Cat Cafe Manager, that's it. I mean, I think you can, but it's not relied upon to enjoy the game. Nintendo. Okay, I'm sorry. I respect Nintendo highly for what they've given us, but Iron Savers. It's one of those games that I do like. Okay, like I did like okay. It was a charming little kids game to teach you how to save the planet and all that. You know what I mean, like recycle, clean up the earth. It's a charming game, but again, you require purchases, which I don't know if I blame Nintendo for or whatever it is. But again, my little time I had with it, with what I had on there, I enjoyed okay. My Brother Rabbit. Okay guys, where do I start? It was okay for a little while, and I definitely wouldn't put it in the My Time at Portia band, but it gets confusing. The puzzles get, again, that could just be me, which more than likely it is. But at this point, I'm not sure. I'd gotten so far in a way. I got the first few, wasn't past the first real section, but I was doing so well. I felt so confident about myself. And then I'm like, where's this last item? In, you know, in that area. Like, then I put it down. Never picked it back up. This is a kid's game, guys. What? Anyway, I don't want to go on a rant about this any more than I have to. Jump Rope Challenge. This isn't a game for the Switch Lite, or what is it, you know what I mean, not for the Switch Lite. I think that's what it is. Speaking of Switch, yeah, I have the Diamond and Pearl version, but this is not, the Jump Rope Challenge is not a game for this, because you need the Joy-Cons for it. I only played a teeny little bit of it, but it's, again, probably good for exercise, which I really do need, but besides the point. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. I think I beat it. Yeah, I think I beat the main story of it at one point. It was a while since I played it. I do not regret buying it. It's a game maybe I'll try to get back into once I'm finished all my other little mini conquests, which that could be a while. So, I got the Nintendo Entertainment System map. Kadadama, Kadadama, the Mystery, 7 Mysteries of, it's hard to remember that name, but it's just a puzzle game in a way where girls get, you know what, as you get better. It's a little inappropriate, not for children, for sure. So far, I didn't play it far enough, but so far I remember the puzzles not being too bad. So it's something that I'm going to probably have to get back into. The child sites. No, just no. If I have any regret getting a game, this is one I regret even more than My Time at Portia. All because of it being a jump scare horror game, and I did not even know it. I remember, I think, bringing this up before, and I don't know if the video has been released yet, or it has, but just, if it hasn't, spoilers. This game is in one of those gamer pickups. That, oh my gosh. If I could have a game, the game I regret getting the most, it's probably that one. I mean, in my life. And I'm sure it is charming to those who, you know, played it, and enjoyed it. Tetris 99, another feature, I think, of the Nintendo Online. And it, again, I never played enough. I'm not really good at Tetris, but it was free with the system, so. Deltarune Chapter 1. Haven't played it yet so much. It's kind of a sequel, prequel to Undertale, which, you know what? Undertale. Yeah, do I regret getting this? Yes and no. Like, I've been trying to get into it, in a way. I see why people love it. I can respect that. But for some reason, I never get that far. I get maybe just past the first part of it. After, you know, that I beat Papyrus. And then I sort of lose interest. Like, what's one thing about me, guys? My brain is sort of fast-paced, in a way. So, I hate to say this, oftentimes when there's a story, click, click, unless I read into it from the beginning, I'm like, click, click, click. So the story element of Undertale is more, okay, when do I get to the next part of the game? Yeah, I know. Again, this is all me. And I really should sit down and just play it, right? I keep telling myself, sit down, spend a few hours every so many days and play it, and I probably will someday when I'm extremely bored and I'm completely out of any other game. Bad Fever Dream. Yeah, I don't know if this is another game that I like or hate. It was a game that was near the end of not really like. Maybe to me it was better than Child of Sight. Just barely. Quest for the Golden Duck. Yeah, this is kinda dumb in a way. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it is what it is. Well, we have more games here on the Switch. We have CO Fletcher, a daughter racing simulator. I tried it for a while. It gets a little bit confusing. Do I regret getting it? Again, I gotta play it more. Coloring book, I believe it was a free game, so it's not. Again, it's a coloring book. I guess I have chapters 1 and 2 of Deltarune, so that would be interesting to play. Fallout Shelter. As I said, I think I liked it better on the PC. It's an interesting way, though, to get kids. You can have kids and just build up your shelter. Fortnite. Yeah, never really played it. I'm sorry, I'm just not a huge fan of Fortnite. Never was. Harvest Life. Okay, this is probably about in the same room of my time at Porsche. I mean, I definitely regret The Child of Light more than any of those games, but it was still a regret. Him and Her, again, I think it was a cheap game, and it's more like a platformer game, I believe. Not a huge fan of it. Kitten Squad. Kind of a complicated game where you go through battles like a maze, and again, I haven't played enough of some of these games. Mad Father. I've never played this game yet, but it's a game that I heard is really good. So I really gotta just pick it up and play it like Undertale. I mean, at least with Undertale, I picked it up and played a little bit of it. I have to really get into it. New Pokemon Snap. I am ashamed to admit I played the first few minutes and didn't pick it back up. It's more that I got my mind on other things. I really should just download it, play it, and, you know, be done. To say how I really feel. I mean, it was fun the first few minutes, right? But I think nothing can compete to the original Pokemon Snap. And that's the way a lot of people feel. Pokemon Quest, yeah, not worth it, guys. A lot of in-game purchases. Again, sorry for the quality of this. I would try to include pictures of those that were in bad quality, but this is the best I can do for this at this point because of my lack of SD storage, in a way. Sin Slayers. This is another game I hadn't picked up yet. it was a game that was on really good sale, like maybe $5, and I had the coins, and it looked cool. Again, I really gotta think before I buy. Child of Light being a good example again. The Pinball Arcade, I think this also came with the Nintendo, online account. The Walking Dead, the final season. There was a time, guys, where we thought this would be complete. And I did actually beat this game. It was so long, a couple of years at least. But I am glad I got it. I probably should get the rest of the series on the Switch. Maybe it'd be fun playing it on the go. Maybe I'd be too terrified to play it any further, but... And I don't know if I showed this, but this War of Mine, and this was the complete edition, so it has the DLC and everything. I heard this is a good game. I gotta pick it up and play it a little bit more than I have. Well, guys, this I believe was about it for my Nintendo Switch collection in a way. And if I missed some of the games, I do apologize. I was looking all I could to find the games that I got and mention. And I'm also sorry I couldn't completely go in full detail about every single game. That some, again, were kind of purchases in impulse in a way, and I hadn't picked them up, but I still wanted to show you guys. Finally, I'm sorry for the quality of some of the, when I was showing the digital games. I would try my best to include pictures in the spots that I have to. You can see a clear image of what the games are, in a way. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this first section, even though it was almost 50 minutes, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.